Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Shadow from TCG, bringing you guys the last round of locals at game night. I was facing my buddy Demise. He's playing Bonney. I lost dice roll. He chose to go second. He does Bonney search to start, and I don't think he's getting anything very good in his Bonney searches this match, because I do recall him showing me his hand a couple times, but this matchup is actually, yeah, there you go. So there's a bunch of Don Quixote stuff, so he ends up grabbing another Bonney searcher. But this matchup's kind of rough if I do not see my ramp capabilities and he's able to get to his late game and, start playing down Kid and Dofies. So I start by swinging at the Bonney to make sure that it clears, just so that he's unable to search with that Bonney, since I do know he has another one. So last thing I want is for him to get a double search off. And I play my Zorojoro. So I know next turn for sure I can only swing with one, and it's going to have to be Zorojoro. So he ends up doing the Bonney search again with the one he just found. And I think, lo and behold, I think he's going to grab another Bonney from this search. Which just shows you how unfortunate these searches have been. But luckily for me, him searching out all these Bonnies probably means he's bottom decking all like the Don Quixote stuff or Hodies. Like this search you saw, he just bottom decked 3 Hodies. So now I know I don't have to really worry about Hody Jones that much. There's a chance he has one more. He left no Don up to do leader ability, so I'm going to swing with the Zorojoro and ramp. No Don attached to him. Then I'm going to play the Bonclay from hand and ramp another active, which is basically the best case scenario for me. Having Zorojoro swing into the Bonclay, so double ramp this turn. I'm going to attach and swing 8k at life. Probably should have swung at the Bonney so he doesn't get another search off. But I figured I can clear the Bonney next turn with the Bonclay, because I know for a fact he's going to swing at the Zorojoro. But I really wasn't thinking. I really should have just cleared it, just so that it doesn't stick on the field and doesn't get any value added for him. So kind of greedy on my part to start pressuring life, but I figured he's just bottom decking all this stuff. It's not really going to be in my way too much. So he ends up playing a Cavendish. Cavendish is on play. He restands 2 Don. Also when he attacks is when he does it. So he's able to search with this Bonney with kind of no repercussions, since he does get that Don back. So clearing it would have been the better thing to do for me, instead of swinging at lead, just so that he doesn't get this search off, because now he's going to find, I believe, a 2k counter. Or no, another Bonney. So the searches continue. So yeah, he wouldn't have found that if I would have cleared it. So this turn would have been less valuable for him, because at least he gets a 1k counter from that search. And more cards in Bonnie's hand is better for them. So he passes to me. I believe now I should be able to use my leader ability and ramp. Yep, so that's exactly what I did. Got myself up to 10 Don. I was able to play the new gate. Swing 8 to leader. Here he's debating on what to do. He does have that extra Don. He could rest the Bonclay if he chose to, which is what he chose to do. And he ends up taking it. Here, instead of swinging at the Bonney, at this point it's too late to swing at it. Might as well just put pressure to lead. Now that I'm gonna be at an 8k leader, he won't really be able to swing at me without attaching a lot of Don. That's where the Cavendish comes in clutch for him. There he plays his 8-drop Kid, swings at the Cavendish, restands 2 Don, and now he's able to do the search with this Bonney. And again, full value off this Bonney, which is why I should have cleared it, because now that's 2 cards that he was able to draw that I could have prevented. Does not do the Kid ability, which is fine for me, but he's really just trying to save the Don just to use leader ability. So I swing 10 at the Cavendish, and he rests my Luffy. Here he's gonna counter out because he needs this Cavendish. It's extending all his plays, and he really needs it to be able to continuously drop like 10 drop or 8 drop Kid and continue to search and cycle. which is where it's hurting me the most, which is why I went for Cavendish instead of life. I could have went at life, but more value trying to get rid of the Cavendish than swinging at life at this point. So here he's contemplating what to do. We're basically getting to the point where we're just slamming big bodies back to back to back. And I believe he's gonna drop a 10 drop. Yep, so he drops a 10 drop Dofi, which stuns my Newgate and my leader. And he swings with Cavendish, which allows him to restand 2 Dawn. And sure enough, one of those Dawn's gonna get attached to the kid, uses the ability to play out a blocker, and plays out a Rosinante from hand. And passes turn. Busted on his part. So I'm going to start my turn off by tapping 8, play out a Rayleigh, which gives a card minus 3,000 and minus 2,000. So I'm going to minus 3,000 to the Cavendish because Rayleigh also pops a 3k. So doing that, actually I think I chose the Cavendish and the Dofi. So Cavendish gets reduced, Dofi stays at 8 for the turn. I swing 10 to the kid and then use the Newgate ability with the 2 Dawn attached. I am able to pop the Rosinante since it is in the range for Newgate. And here he's got to contemplate on whether to let it go or to take it. And he lets it go, which kind of shows me he has no counter. So as long as I could continue to put pressure on him, I should be good. But unfortunately, my hand does not have that much counter. And I honestly think I chose to do Rosinante instead of the Dofi, which also is a mess up on my part. At this point, I was ready to go home. But if I would have reduced the Dofi, he would have had to attach down. I could have just countered out for 1. Yeah, so I definitely chose the Rosinante. I think I was thinking of a way to just clear it for sure. So if I would have did it the opposite way, I could have still had Rayleigh to apply pressure this turn. And I'm going to attach... I think I'm going to just swing out at this point. I think I'm going to do 10, and he's going to rest my other 10 drop. And I'm going to play the 10 drop Luffy this turn, I believe, just so that I could give myself another turn and ramp back all the way up. Love that 10 secret Luffy. I also have 2 of them in hand, so I have to use it at some point. It's that or a queen. Looks like I'm opting to do a queen. So I'm going to do 10. Honestly, I should do 14, which I think is what I do. Yep. So I attach and swing for 14 at the kid, popping the Rosinante, trying to ensure that this kid gets cleared. He rests the other Newgate. And again, the kid goes. If he wasn't able to counter out of a 10, more than likely that means the thing is done. So I do queen ability to Dawn minus. Here, I should have chucked the kid. This is where I make my biggest misplay because I'm going to chuck Diable Jambe. And honestly, if I held on to Diable Jambe, it could have sealed the deal in this game a lot sooner. But I chucked the Diable Jambe instead of the kid. And why I did that, I'm not too sure. But I should have chucked the kid because no matter what, the next plan was to drop the 10 drop Luffy. So not too sure what I was thinking in that moment, but this is going to be the downfall of the game for me. So past the turn, you see he's got 7 Dawn separated with 3 Dawn up. More than likely, I'm thinking he's got a Hody Jones, which is going to be the only copy that he has since he bottom decked the other 3 with his Bonney search. But he's not going to play that. He's going to go a little bit more wide. He seemed to have found pretty much every single kid, which is good for him. I've already knocked 2, so he's got a potential to have 2 more if he has them. But this is a pretty tough spot for him because if he decides to swing big and KO one of the Newgates, I could choose to block a queen. But he swings at life. I take it just because now my rad beams are active since you need to be at 2 or less life. He plays out Cavendish, which restands 2 Dawn, and he's able to play out a Basil and still have 1 Dawn left. So here I decide to just swing out and play my 10 drop. So I'm going to start off with swing with the Newgate. He's going to take it and rest the other Newgate with his leader ability, which is the smartest thing to do. No point in resting the blocker because it's going to get rested anyway. So I swing 6 with the queen. Here I was trying to see if he was going to give me the queen blocker. or I mean the basil, and just kind of block for free. But I guess he figured what I was gonna do, so he gives me 2 cards to counter out of it. So I do the 10 drop, bottom deck all my stuff, down -10. Use my leader ability to ramp to 0, then the Luffy ability to ramp that or rest that active to give me another active. So I swing for 7, takes it, passes turn to me. And then here's what I'm talking about, where I could have potentially won the game if I had Diable Jambe. So here I'm going to attach all 10 Don to my leader, and I'm going to swing 10k at life. And he's going to take it. And then I swing 12 and gives me the basil. If I just swung 9, I potentially could have got the life still and had 1 Don left for the Diable Jambe. Maybe he would have noticed and not, and blocked with the basil on my leader swing. But now I'm pretty much in range to, knock him at any moment with this 10 drop Luffy. But as you can see in the trash, the Diable Jambe is just staring at me with, I'm just having instant regret with trashing that at this point and keeping the 7 drop kid. So here he's contemplating what to do. He's in a pretty good position as well, because he could drop an 8 drop kid, do the ability, swing with the Cavendish, which is going to poke at lead because Cavendish is a 6k, and restand the 2 Don again, and then swing with this Dofi. So he does have some options, but it all depends if he has this 8 drop kid in hand also. So he ends up playing out another basil, which is a good move. Swinging 6 with the Cavendish. Here I'm going to give him the Bond Clay for a 1k counter, but the Cavendish restands 2, which is the most important part. And then he's going to attach 5 Don to the Dofi and swing 15 at my secret Luffy. And here I'm going to give him 2 2ks since it'll put my Luffy at 12k. And then again, since he played out the basil, if I had Diable Jambe here, I would win. Just go straight to face. I believe that would be 16k to face, which I know for a fact he does not have that much counter in hand. So I draw into a Nami, and here I figured I could potentially search it out, but I'm gonna do the Luffy ability and then use my leader ability since now I am at over 8 Don. I'm gonna tap 1 to play out the Nami to search for Diable Jambe, and I end up finding another 10 drop Luffy. Unfortunate. I only run 3 in the deck, and I already have 1 in my hand. Oh, there goes Moose. Moose threw me one of the Odin Don that he just found. Or I think that was a Rebecca, but he's trying to show me, but we're both fully into this game, fully vested into it. So I'm gonna swing 15 at his lead because I knew he was gonna use the leader ability to rest my Luffy either way. Gives me the basil, and I leave 4 Don up just in case he does play a Hody Jones. He could rest 2 of the Don, and I'll still have 2 Don for Radbeam. Again, we're just continuously putting pressure. He's just putting a blocker. We're getting rid of the blocker when our Luffy swings. And then he's resting it. Resting our leader suite, preventing us from doing another swing. But he's only got 2 cards in hand. We're pretty much down to the wire. I need just 1 Diable Jambe in the last 2 turns that just passed, and I could have had the dub. And here he plays an 8 drop kid. Does the Bonney search to look for counter, and this is pretty much where it seals the deal for me. Because he finds a 2k Scratchman Apu, which is great for him. But unfortunate for me. He's contemplating on what he wants to do. But of course, like I said, I already told you what he's gonna get. He's gonna grab this 2K. Yep. So he grabs the 2K Scratchman Apu to give him some counter. So this is 3 cards in hand, I believe, at this point. Yep. And he's gonna swing with the Cavendish to restand 2, and here he's gonna put pressure. Really, he's just gonna swing with his leader ability for 6. Or he swung with the Cavendish. I give him a 1K. He's gonna swing 6 with his leader. I believe I take it, and I have the counter to get out of it, but I opt to not counter just so that I can see if I can find Diable Jambe. So here, I'm taking a gamble. I definitely, just to be on the safe side, should not have took all the life. But again, I'm looking for 1 card, and gamble did not pay off because I figured he was gonna play out a Beji, and even then, not sure what I was thinking here, but if I would have countered out of the leader swing and took the Dofi swing, I could have put pressure, got rid of the kid, and still had 2 life to take this turn. Because you're gonna see I swing, he gives me the Beji, I drop another 10 drop, do the lead ability, pass the turn to myself. Well, before I do that, I Nami search to see what else I can find, and my search is pretty much all Namis. Not 100% sure. If you guys know, can you guys comment down below? But can Nami find their own Nami from the starter deck? I don't think so, and that's why I whiff. And here I'm gonna just swing 12 at the kid, and he has exactly enough counter to get to 13K, which is 1 over what I swung with. If I had attached a Don to my Dofi to get rid of the kid, and then went lethal with my leader, could I have got out of that? No, I don't even think that would have got out, because best I could have did was 9. Yeah, I would have, no, he would have got out with 10. So either way, he would have got out. I should have just protected life and I would have got game. But here, pass it over to him. He's gonna swing. I'm gonna counter out, I believe, the Cavendish swing, and then he's gonna slap it all onto Dofi, and the best I can do is get up to 16K, and I lose. If you guys like the content, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you guys thought, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.